Good evening, everybody. This is Coach Dub coming to you live from beautiful College Station, Texas, with your 12th Man Podcast. This episode of your 12th Man Podcast is brought to you proudly by 1835 Bourbon. 1835 Bourbon, Texan made, Texan proud. 1835 Bourbon, come and take it. We got a special edition of your 12th Man Podcast today as we do an interview with the head coach of the Florida Gators, Willie Greer. Before we get into that, I just got to say one thing. People want to talk about people from Texas and how we think we're better than everybody else. And I just want to clear the air and let you know, yes, if we're from Texas, we think we're better than everybody else. Texas is the only state where everywhere you go, the only thing you see is the Texas flag. On a mailbox, on a house, on a barn, on a roof. We fly the Texas flag the same as we fly the United States flag, one and the same, all in the same yard, and you'll see it everywhere you go in any town you visit in Texas. And just because we think we're better than everybody else, just let me say this. We have a saying in Texas. I wasn't born here, but I got here as soon as I could. And we will welcome anybody that wants to move into our state with open arms. In fact, we've got a policy where we're taking applications for residents. So the sooner you get here, the better. And as soon as you get here, you're just as good as us and better than everybody else. Unless you're from California, your application is getting denied and denied with extreme prejudice. Now that we got that out of the way, Willie Greer, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. How you doing, Coach Dub?
I'm doing all right. First thing we want to talk, your roster was completely depleted after winning the national championship last year. What was the portal like for you in trying to rebuild this team for this season?
Well, we play in the toughest conference in the country, the SEC. So it really wasn't hard when you look at it from a point of view of the best team in the country last year coming off a national title. So it really ain't hard to recruit guys to a school that wins championships.
Well, you got snubbed in the AP preseason polls. They ranked you number 2 behind Miami, who they ranked number 1, who in week 0 lost to USC 28-23. How do you use that to, for your team, and how did y'all feel about being snubbed in the polls after winning the championship last year?
I think that just gives our guys motivation to push harder. And at number 2 spot, we're coming for that number 1. Just putting that out there, Coach Dub.
And when you talk Heisman, people bring up the name Jaden Scott, your starting running back. But I bring up the name Cameron Williams, your other running back. Both the guys are basically really close in the same, but one's a senior, Scott's a senior, and Williams is a junior. But they both basically have the same amount of yards, almost 2,000 each in their careers. They both have 19 and 18 touchdowns respectively. So they're pretty much even. You could kind of go with either guy. We know that Scott got hurt in your first game early in the game, and you had to go to Williams. But when we think Heisman, we think your running backs. But people are not talking about Rashard Tabor, your junior wide receiver who's got unbelievable speed. He's the next coming of Tyreek Hill, except for the guy's 6 foot, not 5'8". Let's talk about him a little bit. He had 9 receptions for 200-something yards receiving in your first game and 4 receiving touchdowns. He's somebody that you can keep involved in the offense and get him involved in the Heisman race.
Let's just say you better double team that guy at all times, or he'll probably juke you out in the phone booth. You know what I mean? He's fast, he's got speed, and he can run routes. So, yeah, that's not one guy you want to, let go unnoticed during practice or on film.
And I hear you say that, but then you've got people that would turn around and say to you, he can run all the routes he wants and he can be as fast as ever, but if you can't get him the ball with your 2 freshman quarterbacks that you got this season, then it kind of nullifies that before it even gets off the ground. How are you going to manage these 2 freshman quarterbacks, Holichek and Bredesen? They're both basically, pretty even. I'm not really sure which one you got as your starter. But which one is your starter? How's that quarterback controversy going? Is there a quarterback controversy? We all want to know what's going on with your quarterback situation down there in the swamp.
I say we're going to go with the one that makes the best decisions, doesn't turn the ball over. So right now we're going to have a 2 QB system down in Florida.
Well, you say that, but which one of them passed for 570 something yards the other day against their FCS opponent?
Bredesen.
Okay, so technically Bredesen would be your number one. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but the backup, he can run too. We like to run the ball.
I'm just saying, against your FCS opponent, it just didn't look like there was a little bit of a two quarterback situation going on.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out. We just can't give you all the details yet, Coach. We gotta keep that on the wraps.
I feel like Bredesen just played so well, you forgot you had Holochek sitting on the bench.
Well, you should see that redshirt freshman we got. We ain't played yet.
So, how do you feel about your defense this season? I know you had told me personally a couple of days ago that you felt like this is the best defense you've had yet. You want to elaborate on that?
Oh yeah, I've probably got the 2 best defensive tackles in the country right now. Yeah, we lost about all our cornerbacks last year, so we got some young corners, and it's kind of shaky, but I think we can pull through and stay on the ball.
So I gotta ask you because they're saying that you're being rated 2 is it's not where you should be ranked. They're saying that your chances of making another national championship this year are slim to none. They're saying to win a natty. They're saying you almost got slim to none chance to make it to the national championship game. And a lot of them are saying that the odds for you to make a semifinal game are unrealistic this season. What do you have to say to those people?
Well, everybody likes an underdog. And last year we was in the same position. Nobody thought we'd make the title game, but we made it and we won it. And you say, yeah, number 2, 2 is better than 3.
Well, I'm saying people say you shouldn't be ranked 2. They're saying you're not really a top 5 team, maybe a top 10 team this season. You could say there's controversy around that, but there's really not because people have referred to you as a one-trick pony. I believe if I could quote another coach, it was said that all you do is break the pocket and run around until somebody breaks coverage and throw go routes all game, and that's the only offense that you got in the swamp.
Yeah, well, if you can't beat them, join them, you know?
Do you think of yourself as a one-trick pony, or do you got more tricks up your sleeve that we just haven't seen yet?
I got more offense up my sleeve. Just ain't broke it out yet.
Well, and you do have a running game, only because you went to Coach Dub's school of running. So, I taught you running the same as West Virginia taught Marshall how to run back after that tragedy that happened. I don't know if anybody hasn't seen the movie We Are Marshall. What a great movie. Especially about the great state of West Virginia. Isn't that right, Coach?
Yes, sir.
So let's take a look at your upcoming opponents.
Yep.
Your next game is going to be in week 2, and that is against number 9 Oklahoma. What do you feel about the game with him? Y'all had 2 great matchups last season, one in the regular season and one for the SEC championship. He's a tough out. He's a tough player. Why don't you give us a breakdown of what you got in mind for that game coming up next week?
Well, Coach, like I told you earlier, we play in the SEC. That's like playing a championship every game. You just can't take none of these guys in this conference lightly because any given team is likely to go to the playoffs. Like, it's crazy how good the SEC is right now. All the skill players we got, and I couldn't. Sometimes at night I couldn't sleep before playing these guys because you just never know. I mean, the whole season my nerves are shot because I gotta plan how I'm going to play these guys, and it's it's tough. But we're gonna go into Norman and see if we can't come out there with a win. I'm not saying we are, but we're gonna give it a heck of a try because that guy and that team he's got, they're good.
Well, there's some definite gauntlet in the SEC this season. UCF came in and this week upset Oklahoma um, in a close game where they won by a field goal, 41-38. That game was 38 tied, I believe, going into the fourth, and the field goal sealed the deal for the UCF Black Knights. Um, New user, new conference. Uh, so, it seems like with the win he got over Oklahoma, he's probably going to fit in the SEC just fine.
Oh yeah, I agree. He come in under the radar there. He snuck in on us. Never never played the guy, never met him, but yeah, he definitely snuck in there on us. And to beat Oklahoma by a field goal with that team he's got, yeah, he's definitely on notice now.
Well, I guarantee you, Oklahoma's going to be raring and ready to go in week 2 when they face you after that early season loss for them. And is there anything else you got to say to your opponents in the SEC this season, especially with Miami jumping over to the SEC?
Yeah, me and old Miami, that's a rival there. You know, since he jumped into the SEC, I had to play him at home in his house last year and lost. We got him in the title game, but yeah, we got to go back to his house this year and play him again, which is always tough. But yeah, Phil, Florida's coming for you, baby. Better be ready. That's all I gotta say about that.
So interesting and fun fact. I feel like you could have teams in the SEC that go 9-3 this season and still make the playoffs. Would you say that that's a fair assessment?
Oh yeah, of course. I any like I said, man, any team in that conference could win a title. I mean, they're all talented, man. It's I think it's the best conference in the game, in the country. It's the SEC.
The SEC is by far probably our strongest conference. Big Ten is a close second, followed by the ACC bringing up the rear there, and the Big 12 is just trash. So that being said,
I think we should have a SEC Big Ten challenge next year. I think that would be good.
if that's the case, you're either getting Penn State or Notre Dame at home week 0. Not at your home, their home.
You know what, Coach Dub? Bring them on.
I think if you had to pick a rival out of the Big Ten for you, it's probably going to be Penn State.
Or we could just pick Georgia. I heard old Peepaw down there.
Paul is currently in the ACC.
I'm gonna have to schedule that guy next year. Old Peepaw.
Elder abuse. That's all that is. Y'all need to leave that guy alone.
Box cream down there.
Okay, well, I appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck on your season. Keep your guys healthy. Rotate your guys and get your young guys some experience because they're going to need it.
Yeah, of course. Oh, before we go, Coach, I got a quick question for you.
Go ahead.
What's Texas?
The best state in the world. We're better than everybody else.
Where's that located?
Of course, you wouldn't know because you're from West Virginia.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're not very illiterate up here, you know.
Yeah, I saw what y'all were talking about in the chat earlier. Pills and bathtub myth.
Yeah, yeah.
People with banjos sitting on their front porch drinking moonshine.
Gotta make a living somehow. But yeah, never heard of Texas, but yeah, thank you, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Everything's bigger in Texas, buddy. Shoes, socks, hands.
Even heads. Well,
Apparently
heads.
so. That's why we think we're better than everybody else. All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And we'll be hearing from you.
All right, thanks, Coach Dub.
All right. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
All right. That's our 12 Man podcast for today. Until next time, this is Coach Dub signing off.